Welcome back everyone to Coin Treasure Hunt, the channel where we explore the fascinating world of coins, their history, their hidden secrets, and their surprising value. If you love coin collecting, discovering rare coins, or learning how something as small as a penny can hold a story worth thousands of dollars, then you are in the right place. Make sure to subscribe to Coin Treasure Hunt and tap the notification bell so you never miss an episode where we uncover the treasures hiding in plain sight. Today we are taking a deep dive into one of the most famous and intriguing coins in American history, the 1969 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. This coin is known not only for its design and history but also for one of the most valuable and legendary minting errors ever discovered. So stay tuned, because you might have one of these rare coins hiding in your collection or even in your pocket change. The story of the Lincoln 1-cent coin begins in 1909 when it was first introduced to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person. The coin immediately became a symbol of American pride and has remained in production for more than a century, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse design of the penny featured 2 wheat stalks and was known as the wheat penny. Then in 1959, to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. This design continued until 2008, and the 1969 penny is part of that Lincoln Memorial series. Let's look at the design details. On the obverse or front of the coin, you can see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" across the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1969 on the right. Below the date you may find a small mint mark which tells you where the coin was made. On the reverse you see the famous Lincoln Memorial with the words "United States of America" at the top, 1 cent at the bottom, and the Latin phrase "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many one," above the memorial. The 1969 penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. The Denver mint coins carry a small D mint mark below the date. The San Francisco mint coins have an S mint mark and were made mainly as proof coins for collectors. In terms of composition, the 1969 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters with a smooth edge. This classic copper composition gives the penny its distinct reddish color, which can turn brown over time as the coin ages. Now let's look at the mintage numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced about 1.13 billion 1969 pennies. The Denver Mint struck over 4.04 billion coins, and the San Francisco Mint produced around 2.9 million proof coins. Altogether, more than 5 billion pennies were minted in 1969, making it one of the most common coins of the era. However, the real excitement comes from one of the most famous error varieties in U.S. coin history, the 1969 S-doubled die obverse penny. This coin features a striking doubled image on the front where the words "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date 1969 appear clearly doubled. This error happened when the coin die was misaligned during production, creating a dramatic doubling effect visible to the naked eye. This error was so well known that when it was first discovered in the early 1970s, some people thought it was counterfeit. The U.S. Secret Service even confiscated several examples before confirming they were genuine minting errors. Today, the 1969 S-doubled die penny is one of the most valuable pennies ever struck. Depending on condition, it can be worth anywhere from $30,000 to more than $100,000. One example in near-perfect condition has sold for over $125,000 at auction. It is important to note that only the 1969 S penny with the San Francisco mint mark has this famous doubled die variety. Regular 1969 and 1969 D pennies do not have this major error, though some minor doubling varieties exist which can still be worth between $50 and $500 depending on clarity and grade. Now let's discuss the general value of regular 1969 pennies. Most 1969 and 1969 D pennies found in circulation are worth 1 cent, but if you find one in pristine uncirculated condition, it can be worth more. A regular 1969 penny in mint state 65 red condition can sell for around $10 to $20. A 1969 D penny in the same condition might sell for $15 to $25. The rarest high-grade examples graded MS-67 red have been known to sell for several $100s each. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint are also popular among collectors. A 1969 S-proof penny in PR68 deep cameo condition is worth around $10 to $20, while one graded PR69 or PR70 deep cameo can fetch $50 to $200 or more. Now let's talk about the coin's history and circulation. The year 1969 was a time of great change and innovation in America. The country had just witnessed the moon landing, and the penny itself represented a stable reminder of everyday American life. Billions of these coins were used in shops, payphones, parking meters, and schools across the nation. Today, more than 50 years later, millions of 1969 pennies are still in circulation, although most are worn and discolored. Because the 1969 penny is made mostly of copper, it also has an intrinsic metal value that is higher than its face value. The copper content alone is worth about 2 to 3 cents depending on market prices. However, melting pennies for metal is illegal, so collectors focus on rarity and condition instead. Even though the majority of 1969 pennies are common, the possibility of finding a 1969 S double die obverse penny keeps collectors searching through their pocket change and coin rolls. It's the kind of discovery that can turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing find. To summarize, the 1969 Lincoln 1-cent coin comes in 3 versions: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a D mint mark, and San Francisco with an S mint mark. All are made of copper and zinc and feature the Lincoln Memorial design. While billions were minted, the rare 1969 S double die obverse penny is worth tens of thousands of dollars and remains one of the most famous era coins in American history. Regular high-grade and proof examples can also be worth anywhere from a few dollars to a few hundred depending on their condition. So the next time you go through your change or look at your old coin jar, check those 1969 pennies carefully. Look closely at the lettering and the date with a magnifying glass to see if you spot that unmistakable doubling. You might be holding one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever produced. Thank you for joining us today on Coin Treasure Hunt. We hope you enjoyed learning about the history and incredible value of the 1969 1-cent coin. If you found this video helpful or interesting, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next coin story. Tell us in the comments if you have ever found a 1969 penny or if you think you might have one of those rare double die errors. We love hearing about your discoveries and collections. Remember, every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story can be worth a fortune. This is Coin Treasure Hunt signing off. Keep checking your change, keep learning, and as always, happy collecting. Welcome back everyone to Coin Treasure Hunt, the channel where we uncover the hidden stories and surprising values behind everyday coins. If you are passionate about coin collecting, learning history through money, and discovering how a simple piece of copper can turn into a small fortune, you have come to the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Coin Treasure Hunt and hit the notification bell so you never miss our weekly episodes where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins of the late 1960s, the 1968 1-cent coin, also known as the Lincoln Memorial Penny. This coin may look ordinary at first glance, but behind its simple design lies a rich history, interesting mint variations, and the potential for surprising value if you happen to find the right one. The story of the Lincoln 1-cent coin begins in 1909 when it was first introduced to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real historical person rather than a symbolic figure of liberty. This marked a major turning point in U.S. coin design and made the penny an instant classic. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse side of the coin showed 2 wheat stalks, giving it the nickname the Wheat Penny. In 1959, to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the design was changed to feature the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design was created by Frank Gasparo and remained on the penny for nearly 50 years until 2008. The 1968 penny is part of this Lincoln Memorial Series, which honors both the man and the monument dedicated to him. Now, let's take a closer look at the details of the 1968 1-cent coin. The obverse side features the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left, and the date 1968 on the right. The reverse side displays the Lincoln Memorial with the words "United States of America" at the top and 1 cent at the bottom. Above the memorial sits the Latin phrase "E pluribus unum," which means "out of many." Unlike the pennies from 1965 through 1967, which did not have mint marks, the U.S. Mint brought mint marks back in 1968. That means the 1968 1-cent coin was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint coins have no mint mark, the Denver coins have a small D mint mark below the date, and the San Francisco coins have an S mint mark and were struck primarily as proof coins for collectors. Now let's talk about the composition. The 1968 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs 3.11 grams and measures 19 millimeters in diameter. The edge is smooth, and when freshly minted, the coin has a bright reddish color that fades to brown over time as the copper oxidizes. When it comes to mintage numbers, the 1968 penny was produced in massive quantities. The Philadelphia Mint struck about 1.7 billion coins, the Denver Mint produced around 2.9 billion, and the San Francisco Mint created over 3 million proof coins. Altogether, more than 4.6 billion pennies were made in 1968, making it one of the most heavily produced coins of its time. Even though billions were made, the true value of the 1968 penny depends on its condition, mint mark, and any minting errors. Let's start with regular circulation coins. A typical 1968 penny found in your pocket is worth its face value of 1 cent. However, if the coin is in uncirculated condition, with no scratches and full original luster, it can be worth between $5 and $15 in grades around Mint State 65 red. Coins graded MS 67 red or higher can fetch $100 to $200, and the finest examples have sold for even more at auction. For proof coins from the San Francisco Mint, the value is higher because they were specially made for collectors. A 1968 S-proof penny with a mirror finish can be worth around $5 to $10 in average condition, while one graded PR69 Deep Cameo can be worth up to $100 or more. The rarest and most perfect examples graded PR70 Deep Cameo have sold for over $500 in top-tier auctions. But the most exciting part comes with the rare errors and varieties. Some 1968 pennies are known to have doubled die errors, where parts of the lettering or numbers appear doubled. These coins are highly sought after and can be worth anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on the clarity of the doubling. Another valuable error is the off-center strike, where the design is not properly aligned and part of the blank planchet is visible. Depending on how dramatic the off-center error is, such coins can be worth between $100 and $500. A few 1968 pennies have also been discovered struck on the wrong metal planchet, such as dime or foreign coin blanks. These mistakes are extremely rare, and if authenticated, they can sell for several $1,000s. For example, a 1968 penny struck on a silver dime planchet has fetched over $3,000 at auction. Always check the weight of your penny. A normal one should weigh 3.11 grams, so anything lighter or heavier could be an error coin. Now let's talk about the coin's place in circulation and American history. The year 1968 was a significant period in the United States. The country was going through social change, space exploration, and political transformation. During this time, coins like the 1968 penny were in everyone's pockets, used for candy, newspapers, and telephone calls. The penny was a symbol of the everyday American economy and continues to be a lasting reminder of that era. Billions of 1968 pennies are still in circulation today, though most have become dark brown or worn from use. Finding one in brilliant red uncirculated condition is rare and can be a real prize for coin collectors. If you find a shiny, Untarnished 1968 penny, especially one with a mint-mark D or S, it's worth setting aside for your collection or having it graded by a professional service. Let's summarize what we've learned. The 1968 Lincoln 1-cent coin was produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. It's made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighs 3.11 grams, and features the Lincoln Memorial design. Over 4.6 billion coins were minted that year, but high-grade and error varieties can be worth anywhere from a few dollars to thousands. Proof coins from San Francisco are particularly desirable for collectors, and error coins like doubled dies and off-center strikes can bring impressive prices. Even though it's one of the most common coins in America, the 1968 penny carries historical importance and hidden value. Every coin tells a story, and the 1968 penny tells one of post-war prosperity, minting innovation, and the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. Thank you for watching today's episode of Coin Treasure Hunt. We hope you enjoyed learning about the 1968 1-cent coin and all the secrets it holds. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next video on rare and valuable coins. Tell us in the comments if you have a 1968 penny in your collection or if you've ever found one with a rare error. We love hearing your stories and discoveries from your coin hunts. Remember, even the smallest coin can have a big story and sometimes an even bigger value. This is Coin Treasure Hunt signing off. Keep looking closely at your change, stay curious, and happy collecting.